Okay, so I'm gonna start a new organization. It's gonna be called Women United Against Perverts. What'd you think about that?
I think it's bullshit. Nah, it sounds like a great idea.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So, so I want you to tell me if this is like, you know, a fair thing, or is it where what do you say, like an exception to the rule? What do you say? Like, you know, like men can sleep around with a whole bunch of women, but if double standard, there we go. Okay. So why don't you tell me if this is double standard or not, okay? So if a man is not working, right? Or he's not doing anything to provide financially for the home, would it be wrong for women to withhold sex?
Yep.
It would be wrong,
yep.
Right? Okay. So, if men are working and making money to support the household and stuff, would it be wrong for women to withhold sex?
Yep.
So we're obligated to have sex if you're making money.
Both, yeah.
And we're obligated to have sex if you're not making money.
Yeah.
Right?
Both, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I have another question. Okay, I have another question. Okay. So you know, a long time ago, women couldn't work and they couldn't vote and things like that, right?
Right.
And so we were taught mostly to be domesticated, like an animal.
As you should, yeah.
Like you domesticate a dog and stuff from the wild.
Yeah, property,
Okay, but you know, men came up with laws and rules to domesticate y'all because you know y'all are like wild animals. If you're just let unleash out in the world. So rules and laws are kind of like a leash for y'all.
Yeah.
You think? Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Okay, so once women had rights, well, okay, let's go back. Women didn't have rights, so they had to do.
The world went down. Go ahead.
Okay. So they had to do everything that their husbands wanted them to do.
As they should, yeah.
As they should. So
y'all slaves.
I mean, that's how y'all were treating us. So, hold on.
They gonna be mad.
Let me have a seat.
They gonna be mad at this video.
Okay, so let me get this out here. Okay, so I'm interviewing my husband, okay, because of some questions that I need answered, okay. Okay, so women couldn't work. They couldn't vote. They couldn't do anything.
They stay at home, cook and clean.
Okay, so they had to stay home and cook and clean and take care of children. Yeah. So men would go to work, and when they come home from work, they should be relaxed, put their feet up, watch TV, drink their beer, have their hot meal.
Do what the fuck you want, you own the world.
And have sex at the end of the night, right?
Yep.
Okay, so is women cooking and cleaning and taking care of children and doing domestic duties is not the same as you working outside of the home?
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, so why is it that...
Most men don't see it the same, but it's the same.
Okay, so why is it that we, as women, we don't get a break? It's like we're supposed to be on duty for 24 hours. So if you're gone all day and we're home all day taking care of children and cooking and cleaning and doing other little things to make sure that the home is maintained, the children are maintained, where do we find time for ourselves as women if men come home from work and just want to kick their feet up and drink beer and watch TV like on Al Bundy?
Where did the African nigger slaves find time?
Okay, but men and women were slaves then.
That's niggers. Not all
okay,
men.
Well, all niggers were slaves. Okay, so they were slaves.
Niggers don't count.
Okay, so, but as men of color, okay? So as an American man of color, we'll say, okay, a Negro. So if men were slaves and they finally became free, did they not just emulate the same things to their wife as the slave master did to
They're
them?
supposed to. The slave thing is a male thing. It's male species, male nature. It's going to be repeating itself no matter what. Ain't nobody going to see no difference.
Okay, so as women, we should never have had freedom.
Never.
And
that's why we can't say fag. That's why we can't say retard. All these sensitive ass shit now because men don't let these women take control. Now we're emotional just like them.
But you don't think that it would work out well if we were balanced?
Yeah, I'm just doing satire comedy, y'all. Yeah, it'd be better if it's balanced.
If there's balance in the world.
I'm just giving some comedy to this, but it's really truth to the comedy. This is how a lot of males think in the world. It's how
it's true. It's true. Okay, so I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
the reason I say if he's not working or if he's working, he get it because we see y'all as property. It don't matter if I'm working or not. We dominate the territory. I'm in this territory, so you give me the coochie.
I mean, that's y'all's nature. We get it. But what about our nature?
We don't care. We're going to try to subject it.
Right. So we suffer in the end.
Yep.
Either way, we suffer.
Either way.
Okay. I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, you don't have boogers. Okay. I have one more question.
Yep.
Well, I might not have one more question, but okay, I have another question.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So men who say they want 50-50, okay?
Mm-hmm. There's some suckers.
Hold on. They want 50-50.
Uh-huh.
They want to provide half of, let's say financially. Because usually that's what they're talking about. They're not really talking about
all the other
helping
stuff
out with children and things like that. It's usually financial, okay?
Right.
So in reality, even if a woman did contribute financially, she's still not doing 50-50. She would actually be doing more than 50-50 if she's contributing financially and have to take care of children,
clean,
cook, make sure her husband is sexed, fed well, feel good, healthy, as well as her family and things like that. So do you really think that's 50-50?
Nope.
Okay, so do you think that men, or do you think that women who want to do 50-50, it's because if it's men primarily providing, men want women to behave a certain way, especially if they're fully providing financially, just financially, because that's usually what it's always about. It's always about financially providing. Men don't never really talk about the other topics of what goes on in a marriage, in a home, in a family.
Right.
It's just always a financial duty.
Right.
So do you think that men who are like 50-50, it's because they don't care if the woman is like, have a voice, she does what she wants or whatever? I mean, like, how long do you actually think that would maintain? Because most men are going to want to fully dominate the household, right? They're going to want to fully dominate it. So a lot of women, they talk about not going 50-50, would I have to go 50-50? But one of the things is the submission that men would actually want from that woman, because he's providing 100% financially, but he's not providing when it comes to emotional help with his children that she bared and fed from her breast or bottle, whatever they did, to nurture their child and grow their legacy. So do you think that men who want 50-50, they don't care how those women behave? Or do you think the 50-50 would actually cause a problem because men will soon to feel like because the woman is helping, how they try to say helpmate, but yeah, that's just another cute way to try to cover up helpmate of helping financially. Do you think that that would be a long-term solution for most men when they say the 50-50? Or do you think it will cause conflict?
I think most situations it bring conflict.
Why? Why do you think it would bring conflict?
I mean, if we doing 50-50, I don't know. I'm not going if I do 50-50 financially, I'm not gonna feel like my nuts is hanging over the household.
Okay.
I'm not gonna feel
but why? Why would you not feel like that?
I'm not gonna feel like I'm a dime.
But why would you feel like that?
Because just like when we used to be hustling and around people with money, we'll fight over like I got this, homie, because you want to feel like you the man. You know, you providing food in people's mouths.
Okay, so if women do 50-50 financially, and or if a man does 100%.
See, I'm talking about a different type men. Men who like to be on top. It's different layers of males and men. Like men who are like the man that you will see amongst males, and you see like a natural behavior of them putting him as he's the lead without saying. You can see the behaviors that they recognize that dude as he's the dude out of all the dudes. Most of the times he's the one that's getting the most money. He's has the most charisma, or just a lot of factors to him. You know, they always led the pack ever since they was little and all that. Them type of men is not gonna want to do 50-50.
Right.
They gonna want to feel like they the top. They the person that you come to. They the person, they the refuge. You know, they're the asylum when people need refuge and stuff like that. They want to feel like they the king. You know. So, but a lot of men are not. I'm not gonna say a lot. Some men ain't on that type of time, so they're not gonna care to provide fully or like that. They'll settle for the 50-50.
Okay. Do you feel like society is not set up for most men to be providers 100% financially?
Nope. It's a pyramid structure. It's a hierarchy.
So a lot of times, majority of men will end up in 50-50 situations.
Yep.
But they're still going to feel like they should be dominant.
If they have the personality,
and have the top authoritative.
If they have that type of, if they wired like that and they're not able to do it, it's gonna be conflict.
Right. But if a woman is helping financially, wouldn't she be tired and wouldn't want to come home to taking care of children and cooking and cleaning? Like, most of her day would be gone.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, okay, so a long time ago, our grandparents, great-grandparents, and so forth, most of the structure was seen. I'm going to say seen because we don't really know what went on sometimes with grandparents in their homes without us actually seeing. Just a lot of times, your grandmother would make sure she represents that she's respectful to her husband and he's the leader and stuff like that, right? So, do you think that since like our grandparents and great-grandparents and so forth was solely dependent on the husband working and financially taking care of things, and they were not capable of working or anything because they had to be able to stay home with the children? Do you think that affected the women's life, like affected how long they would live, their health, their mental health and things like that? Do you think that contributed? Because I see a lot of old grandparents, like they're either sick, they're overweight, they're stressed out, and they won't say this to you now. They'll still hide that because they're trying to uphold this certain type of behavior. But with upholding that type of behavior, you don't feel like it's detrimental or damaging to the woman's health?
Yep.
So where would the balance be found in that? So since we've been married, you've pretty much provided financially, fully. If I wanted to get a job or something like that, you didn't mind, because most of the time I was doing something that would help me learn a new trade or something, that I could also use to contribute to the family. But you never really asked money from me financially. And I still always upheld, of course, being respectful. And even in times when, like, we went through issues from, jail stuff or things like that, that you still wanted to make sure you were in a position to fully provide, right? So with you fully providing, we have grown and matured, and we've come a long way. But so long time ago, of course, being young and in a man's nature who has not become, what is the word? Like, you don't be aware. There we go. They're not aware of their behavior, their male nature, that is also harmful to women, because it's take, and it's not really good.
A lot of
Yeah, it's like that. If you're working and providing 100%, yes, I should give you sex anytime you want it. But if we're doing 50-50, I should give you sex anytime you want it. Or if you're out of a job and can't work and provide, I should still give you sex, right? So I don't think most men, they don't pay attention to be aware to how some of these things can actually affect us women, right? And there's not a lot of women who will actually speak out about these type of things. Well, and a lot of people don't have relationships like we do, you and I.
Right.
So we can talk about this kind of stuff without being offended or argumentative or debative or whatever.
Right.
Because we accept each other's nature.
Right.
We understand our nature. But I'm saying, like, so these men who are looking at their woman, or even women who are like, I think a lot of women don't want to go and get married or even be in a relationship with men because they don't want that having to be submissive, told what to do, have to ask. You kind of treat it like a child, basically. They don't want to feel like that. So because it's our nature to want to make sure that we have resources. Okay, like nesting. We want to nest. We want to make sure we're good. So if women feel like they can do that on their own, most women aren't going to feel like they need a man in their life for that, right? Because it's saying, like, long time ago, women mostly needed men just to provide, right? And so because you were providing, it's like a trade-off. That's why I say that wives are nothing but higher class prostitutes, because we're giving you sex for service of what you're providing. We're giving you sex for you bringing home the paycheck, paying the bills, giving some spending money or whatever. And not only am I giving you sex, but I'm giving you babies that destroys your body, that wears your body down. And I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, as well as other women who have those roles or have taken on those type of roles. You're doing a lot. So don't you think that if men don't actually start evolving to understand that a lot of women will soon choose to not even want to be in a relationship with men because of how it can harm their health? Do you think that will play a factor?
It's already showing.
What do you mean by that? Explain for me, please.
It's a lot of women opting out to be clam lickers. Nah, it's just a lot of talk online about want to just go off and do that. Kind of like when it said that men go their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of women talking about going their own way. So I'm talking about they should form their own communities and stuff like that.
Okay, because like I've heard stories like of some of grandparents and great grandparents, like once she got to a certain level of where she was just like tired, they would leave and leave the children with the husband, and usually the oldest is ended up taking care of the children because mom is like, I've given my entire life, I'm tired. Instead of, because most don't feel comfortable trying to communicate what we need so that things could change, and most men aren't open to that anyways, right? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, they just want to have their cake and eat it too.
Bottom line.
Yep, just want to have sex, bust nuts, play games, watch football, watch basketball, bravado, and compete with other men, drinking games, and go in a cave and beat their chest like the gorilla who's the most top. We just want to conquer the world, have fun, drink, be merry, and all that.
Right. And we should just be servitude.
Y'all just be the trinkets of the war. Yeah.
Trinkets, servitude, slaves.
Yeah.
High class prostitutes, whatever.
Just the tool,
kind of name you want to put on it.
Just the tool for us to multiply and have a good time. Pleasure. So
that's actually why a lot of men and women's relationships don't work out.
Yeah.
Because women can accept the natures of men, and men can't accept the nature of women.
Well. It ain't we can't accept it. We want to control it to where it works in our favor.
Okay, right. Okay, that I understand. You want to make sure it works into your favor.
Yeah.
So, is there any way to meet in the middle? Not all men will be willing to do that. But if you choose to get married or be in a relationship so that it can be long term, and because you love your husband or your wife, as a husband, you wouldn't want your wife to be depleted or start deteriorating because men are literally sucking the life from women, kind of like vampires. Like they're just feeding off of us.
Meet in the middle, no, unless you have nature turns into hermaphrodites.
Okay, but are we meeting in the middle? Would you say that we have met in the middle?
Not today's women.
No, you and I.
Oh yeah.
You and I.
We evolve into it, but today's women is they think like men think. So they're competing with men. So men trying to dominate and women trying to compete for the status of men.
It's going to be a clash every single time.
Yeah, women's trying to compete to be in the same status as men, and men still trying to dominate and control. They want to compete and be the same level as men so they have this freedom as men have.
So for most men and women, there's really not a solution. The best solution would be kind of like what the Queenmaker said. Men go their way, and women just all come together, united. And we just use men for having babies. And you guys can go about your business and sex who you want and stuff. Because here's the thing.
They would have to make a pact with the men that they're using for procreation to be a barrier to other men. They'll try to overthrow the community. So it would have to be a decreased number of men on Earth. It can't be what we have now and go your ways. Men would just come over here and tear it up.
Right. I agree.
So it have to be a less number of men on Earth.
Okay, so
for it to happen.
So last question, and I'm done. You think if all women in the whole world went on strike and not giving up sex will be a solution? Because when I think about that, even saying it, if all women all over the world actually agree to do that.
They can't publicly do it, or then men gonna react and take it.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. They're just gonna take it.
It has to be some culture. It has to be where it's not even like in men's radar that that's what's going on.
Right.
It has to be where it's like they feel it's happening on an individual basis with their woman.
Right.
Like, dang man, I need to act better so she'll
right.
You know, I need to treat her better so she'll allow me to get some.
Okay.
It would have to be. It can't be where they know.
Right, because they'll. That's what
if they know it's intentional. If they know it's intentional,
they'll just take it.
Yeah, they'll just take it.
Okay, well, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed our Q&A of husband and wife.
But it is a solution, ladies. If it was covertly done, if women had a whole unified front to close them legs, and it's not known that's what they're doing, it will change the behavior of men, of how they treat you. But they can't. They can't just know that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It has to become solidarity on hush, code of silence.
Okay, so anyways, if you guys don't know who we are, my name is Kusum, and this is Angelo Gianni, but he goes by Questy Black. And we have a book out as well. So if any women who are actually looking for more of a traditional marriage or relationship, you should look into my book called Position Your Man to Win. And take the information as you need it, and you can adjust things to your relationship, because that book was written almost 8-9 years ago, and as we said, we evolve and we change and we grow, which is perfect, because that's one of the only ways that you can actually help your relationship get better. Is not trying to stay in the same mindset that you were in when you first tried to get in a relationship. So I hope you find this video helpful, and you can follow us on Facebook under Questy Black or under Kusum Kiana, and please like and subscribe and hit your notification bell so that you'll get more of our videos. Bye. Have a good day.